Worked again.
And we're back. Hello, and welcome to DevCast Ops. Sorry for the weird caching issues. Maybe one day I will get a more elegant solution. But for now, a little flicker every now and again is what we deal with. Welcome back, everyone. We've all been away for various different reasons. I can't remember what most of them. I think I was incredibly busy while I was unwell, and James was busy as well for our last Monday stream. And then Saturday I was off sorting out some other things over the bank holiday weekend.
It was just me.
Yeah, and we left all alone. So, but hopefully next weekend we can have the three of us on a gaming stream, which hasn't happened in quite a while.
While I will learn how to play Minecraft.
How long my license off?
I've got my license, so I'm good.
But yeah, apart from our random schedule, this week we will be looking at TLS. So this will probably be a little bit more of a talky one, as we kind of go over some of the pros and cons of different TLS solutions. I guess I should probably say my name's Barnaby, James and Wale are the two people with me, if you hadn't already picked that up. And I guess, shall we start from the beginning? So we messed with TLS a little bit before. Or I think when we previously did it, we had a self-signed certificate that we were using for Vault. And I think that was the only one that we ever TLS'd. We have TLS in our console set up for our internal communication for console, as console can be its own certificate authority. If I say, if you two want to jump in at any point, do, but otherwise I'll just kind of ramble through some basic TLS stuff.
I suppose the console TLS stuff, it's for the traffic between console servers. It uses that TLS, and that's how the servers authenticate with each other, is through the TLS. If we actually go to our console website, there's no encryption. There's no TLS yet.
Yeah, it's for internal communication because you really want that to be encrypted at a bare minimum. So if someone's sniffing around your network, they can't just pinch console as it syncs data from console as it syncs it between the two. Not that we have anything secretive in our console at the moment.
Maybe someday.
Eventually we probably will, as it'll be used for service discovery. So you'd be sending traffic between services through it, and once you've linked those up and they're running in a semi-production format, that will have sensitive data in. So we'll do that. But the basic things we need TLS. Well, most of our stuff can handle TLS because they will have internal facing websites, and it'd be nice just to put them behind TLS. So someone on our network, if someone gets in, can't immediately read everything.
I mean, it is the correct thing to do. I really hope in this day and age we don't need to justify TLS.
Yeah, you don't see very many websites without the padlock anymore.
You should use TLS, to the point where we had an issue a couple streams ago where Wale couldn't go to the non-TLS version of the website without much difficulty.
Yeah, most browsers are pretty aggressive at forcing you. But I guess that leads us on to the next point for this. Your browser will give you a TLS trust to a certain number of certificate authorities are preloaded into it. So when you download a browser, it will come with certificate bundles. Your OS will have some certificate bundles as well. Companies pay a lot of money to be past those certificate bundles, and therefore their websites are automatically trusted. Part of getting into one of those is you are audited and you have to uphold a very high level of security standards to do that. So this is not something an average person on their own could do. So we couldn't just go, here's our certificate authority, and register it to be sent out as one of these bundles by giving them the CA. So automatically any certificates that we generate through that kind of method wouldn't pop up in your browser with the little padlock. What you get is this certificate can't be trusted, or it's from an unknown source error that you may have seen a couple of times. You normally get a big red exclamation mark saying be warned, and then you click through to advanced settings. It gives you a few more details about the certificate, and then you can choose to advance or proceed. There's a couple of ways around that. So if you're doing something locally and you know that you're going to be using the same CA a lot, you can install certificates into your certificate bundles, and then from there on they'll be trusted. or we can potentially get something signed by somebody else's CA. So you can send a lot of these companies that come with the bundle CAs for a fee. They will sign your certificate for you, and then it'll be trusted automatically. The bit that we're kind of missing at the moment is you'll hear root CA and intermediary CA. So the certificates that you get given in your bundles are the root CAs. And because if you have access to that root CA, and they often live for maybe 10, 20 years, is you can sign certificates with that, and then they'll automatically be trusted. Those are often not online. So what they do is try and delegate some of the trust out. They create what is called an intermediary CA. So they sign another certificate with the root CA and the root key. And then this intermediary CA can sign future certificates. And this allows you to sort of segment off the trust under that CA. So if we were running a big organization, we might have our DevCast Ops CA sitting right at the top. That would probably sign a CA for each department we wanted to run, and then we'd essentially store that on a box somewhere and turn it off. So
and then put that into a vault and never connect to the internet.
Yeah, so it
Don't
would
want
only
CAs to get out.
Yeah, that would only be accessed if we'd spun up a new department and would go to the vault, unlock it. Someone would probably manually type the commands on the server to generate a new intermediary, load that onto a pre-wiped drive or something like that.
Brand new pen stick that no one's ever touched before.
And they'd take that out and load that into the system. So then those department CAs would maybe live for 5 years. But anything would then go to those and they'd sign it. And they have the chain of trust back up to that root CA, which is distributed to everyone. I guess the point that we should make clear here is when we're saying CA, there's two components. There's a PEM file, which is what's distributed, and there's the key, which is used to sign things. And the key is the bit that you really need to keep safe. But essentially, you set up all these little root CAs. And then say if our testing department got compromised and their CA failed and we can no longer trust certificates in that department, instead of having to revoke the root CA and reissue certificates for the entire organization, we can just revoke testing's department CA. And that would take away that department's certificates that will automatically not be trusted. We don't have to revoke any of the certificates issued, because if we don't trust the intermediary, it's broken that chain of trust, so they're automatically not trusted. So that's a lot of how TLS works. An ideal world would be able to get an intermediary CA from one of the CAs from that are already in the bundles, but it's not something that's really done, because understandably, while you have access to that CA, you can print certificates for any website and then be automatically trusted. So that's why that's not given out. So our options is we use some open source offering like letsencypt, where we can send certificates to letsencypt, the certificate signing requests, and they will sign them and be our trusted CA. For that, we'd have to just make API calls to their processors, or we can go down the route of a self-signed certificate and install the CA into our cert bundles, which for stuff that we do internally and you guys who are watching would never need access to, would work quite well, because we don't, that stuff just access to us. We can just put in it into our bundle, and then we can have very short-lived certificates and intermediary, and we can structure it in a way that fits our organization or whatever infrastructure that we're doing at the time. But for stuff that would be outward facing, we'd want it that's not so convenient, because then we'd have to make the CA available to people, and people may or may not know how to install.
It's like first step install CA is, no one's going to want to get a website that's like, first go here, download our CA.
Yeah, here's our unsecure website, download this file from it. And
I mean, you can trace the website somewhere else, but yeah. The first step you made sound really easy. Because of the way we've set up our network, it is not that easy. You can't just send letsencypt a CSR and go, hey, can you sign this for me? Unsurprisingly, they won't sign a CA you can't prove to own. the easiest way of proving you own a domain is spinning up an Nginx server, which the domain points to, which letsencypt can ping. We don't have a server that the internet can talk to, so that doesn't work. So the other option is you can do DNS authentication, where you put a DNS value on your domain. For us, would be in Cloudflare, and then letsencypt can check that, go, yep, cool, you've put the secret key, you've put the correct secret key where I expect it. You are who you think you are. Which means if we want to go down the letsencypt route, not only do we want to, we're going to need to deal with letsencypt, we're going to have to deal with Cloudflare as well. Which obviously the second way, while is more complicated as a end goal, like as an end solution of someone just wanting to, I don't know, I have on a new computer and just need to access our system, having to install a CA before I can do that along with everything else I need to do to connect to the network. It's simpler to set up and more complicated to use, whereas the other way is more complicated to set up, but every device will then trust these websites.
I guess the thing that we should say that if we were building our own CA, we would probably be using Vault as our certificate broker. And then we also run into the issue of if we're using Vault as our certificate broker for our infrastructure, where does Vault get its certificates from? Because if Vault's the CA and Vault needs certificates, we have a circular dependency, and that loop's too small to elegantly close.
I mean, we could get Ansible to deal with it. It's weird. The other solution for that is you use something like Vault Secrets, or you manually generate the CA and put it on Google, whatever Google's secrets provider is. So it pulls it in and then signs it. Then Ansible can generate a cert from that and then load it into Vault, and then load the CA into Vault. So the first Vault cert is manual, but then it's automated, which is obviously things we can do, but a little bit more complicated.
Yeah. Ollie, any thoughts?
I am just on letsencypt website.
I know this isn't necessarily your main field.
Nah, because the only thing I had in mind before was that we were gonna use, for example, Raspberry Pi to create the main CA, the offline one, and then generate using Vault then to generate certs from there. But then I think that's not changed. So
Well, that creates a circular dependency, which is fine. We can deal with it. It's just a circular dependency.
Or I guess the root of that is Wale's Pi, which would work as a CA.
It means if Wale ever wipes his Pi or we need access to it and Wale's not around, we don't have access to our CA.
but didn't we then agree that CA I can then put it maybe into my 1Password and share it with you? So then that way it's not, even if I was to wipe my Pi, it doesn't make a difference.
Yes, the option 2 where we manage a CA, we can put the CA somewhere that we can access, and then sign Vault, probably manual from the CA to begin with, and then load that CA into Vault. So any subsequent certs will be generated from Vault. Even when Vault needs to regen its own cert, that should be doable. It's just that like first kickoff, which is a pain. And then we just have to deal with that route. We have to deal with any time we want to use a cert. Anytime we want to access one of our services, we need to make sure we install the cert, install the CA before we then use the website.
Which means if we were to access it on our phones, it won't be trusted. But then also, I can't access our services on our phone because I don't have.
Well, you need to install the VPN then.
Yeah, you need to Cloudflare through your phone.
Which I do. I have Cloudflare running on my phone.
Fair.
And I have used it before, which is fine. And I'm sure a phone has a way of installing a cert CA on it.
This sounds silly, but is it not possible for us to install this into the VPN itself? Then that way, every time we obviously, because we access our own services, we don't have to worry about
Not for private IPs.
Hmm.
So if we if we don't care about managing our own CA, certainly for the entry services, so like Vault, Console, Nomad, we can just, circular dependency, we could just use Vault as the Let's Encrypt. So Vault uses Let's Encrypt, so we no longer have circular dependency. Then Vault manages the rest of it. And then whether we want the cert to be managed through Vault or managed through Let's Encrypt, arguably we could probably decide on the fly.
I think if we get a cert from Let's Encrypt, can we use that as? I don't think we can use that as an intermediary. Vault would be visible.
No, so we would, yeah. Yes, it's either you give it to Vault as Vault's cert, and then we make our own CA, load it into Vault, which gets around the circular dependency, kind of. But I don't mind. I suppose I'm in favor of letting everything that we use by default be Let's Encrypt, just so I don't have to care about installing a cert every time I want to use our systems, because knowing me, I'll wipe my computer at one point and then have to find the cert, and it's a extra level of faff I don't know if I can bother to deal with.
What was the issue again with us? Because I remember at the beginning that obviously all I've known so far is Let's Encrypt, right? But we always stayed clear of Let's Encrypt.
So the way we were using Let's Encrypt is the way we use Let's Encrypt is we use an app called CertBot, which with its default settings will spin up an Nginx server, will go out to Let's Encrypt and go, hey, here's my CSR and my URL. Let's Encrypt will call the URL, try and hit the Nginx server, and because everything's private, will fail.
Yes, I just realized that. Yeah.
I have looked into it, and you can use DNS. There is a Cloudflare DNS plugin that will let you use DNS validation to get the cert. And we could even get a wildcard cert if we wanted to be crazy. And this server, we could give it a wildcard cert. So Vault, Console, Nomad all point to the same cert files. And this server just has wildcards. So any service you want to spin up on this server has the cert. And whether we want to decide that any other server, we need to have our CA. And it's just this server, which is our kind of the server where I see something going wrong and needing to log in quickly to fix.
Yeah, our main entry point.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense to have that backed by Let's Encrypt, so we can do it. And then for services that we spin up underneath, or for internal communications, we can use Vault as a CA for that. And kind of that will be our distinction. If we need internal traffic management, we'll have Vault as a CA and give out and have that accessible that we can install it if we want to debug. But for sort of the main server, to have it as a Let's Encrypt, so we can just hit it automatically, not have to worry. It's probably a good way to do that.
Sweet. Do we want to try and set Let's Encrypt up then?
Yeah, should we get going?
Otherwise, if you share my screen, I was looking at my cert bundle a moment ago. These are all the certs I've got installed while I share my screen.
I don't know if you can make that any bigger.
It takes a while for it to show up on Twitch, by the way.
Can I make it any bigger? Large icons. No, I can't make it bigger. Certs. Anyway, so are we happy the way this works? So, right, I did look into this and now my brain's all frazzled. It is, so the easiest way of doing this, which is what Let's Encrypt suggests, is CertBot.
Yeah.
Which I'm more than happy to use. So we just install this. It then handles everything. we are going to have to something we have to look into at the end of this is how do we get certbot to restart our services so Let's Encrypt only gives 3 month certs. So every 3 months, this service will regenerate our certs for us. We need to tell it to reload all our servers when the new cert gets generated.
Is that something it can do for us for free as well, or?
I mean, it runs a cron job, I believe, so we can just edit the cron job to go tell all the servers there is a config update, because you can send it a config update signal, so it won't kill the service. It'll tell the service to regest the config, and that should work.
So I was thinking, can we use GitHub Actions maybe? Because then we could have it so it checks it once every month or whatever.
So this tool will do it for us.
Yeah.
By default, if we give this tool the correct information, which is my plan, it will just generate the cert for us.
No, but I'm not talking about the generation part of it. It's the fact that you're saying that it needs to restart all our services with the new cert. That's where I was going.
Yeah, so it will create a cron. I believe it creates a cron job.
Yeah.
And we just need to append to that cron job also restart our services.
It would be odd to take it off that action off the server to be processed by a run like GitHub Action somewhere else. You would append, either append the cron job or set another something like that would watch the file, and when the text changes, reloads the particular service that it applies to.
I was just thinking about appending how this service worked, but okay.
Yeah, that would both would work.
Yeah.
I guess if you were to do it in sort of an Ansible way, you'd have the bot. I wonder if you could maybe subvert the bot to put the secrets, the certs into a space where Ansible expected them.
Also, do we get an email as well from this? Because I've just received an email recently for one of my Let's Encrypt certs expiring soon.
Then yes, we will. We give it the same information we gave ours. I have very little idea how this works. I have used it once in the past. I was going to install it, and in 3 months' time, see what happens. All right. So we need to. The suggestion is we install via Snap.
Can we install via Ansible? Would it be picked up by the packages?
Ooh, Snap. I remember I used to have issues with Snap because it wouldn't work on the Raspberry Pi.
So I think. Well, I mean, okay. First step. Let's log into Box.
Wow.
Is it 6?
Could you make that bigger, please?
Yeah.
No.
It'd be
I don't want to make it bigger for you. Is that big enough?
Nah, not really. I was joking.
Has Snap. So
wow,
we may be lucky.
The fact that you already have Snap, I'm sure we're good.
Okay. New folder. This is going to be TLS. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I was wondering if we could potentially steal it from somewhere else, or do we want to build our own?
I mean, it's if packages already has it, it's going to be like 4 lines or 4 blocks. Like, I don't think it's going to be, well, hopefully it's not going to be that much information.
It's true. This is, I found like a role that will, I think there's a role already to install certbot for letsencypt. And
I'm just looking at one now.
Well, you can
it
tell me.
It doesn't look like it's too complicated. It's just got stuff like the auto renew time, the renew user, what hour it renews at, a minute, and then options.
So we've installing the plugin is something we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
Oh wow, my Ansible has just gone out the window. name package. Name install installs.
Check if that certificate already exists.
I don't care if the cert exists. Well, at this point, I don't care if the cert exists.
Oh no, sorry, I was reading out loud.
Oh, okay.
My apologies.
In theory, you shouldn't need. I guess because
Because like obviously, if you run this multiple times, right, it wouldn't have to do it again.
it depends
There's
how.
whens.
Yeah. If you're looking at the Ansible role as well, depending on how you set it up, will depend how it interacts. Because if it knows if it has content that it just wants to write to a file, if the file already exists with that content, it won't do anything.
Oh, creates for the command. You'll be run the command cert bot and you tell it creates the cert file, which means if cert file exists, it won't run the command.
Yeah. So the person that's written the role has written it in a sensible way, by the sounds of things, that has it checked to see if things exist, and if they don't, creates them. If it does, renew them.
We've never written ours like this. I like this way.
I think our console stuff might be similar to that, where it would check to see.
Yeah, for the encryption key, I think it is.
Includes task when This is good.
I think that's probably what my Ansible looks like on client side.
not to steal their work. The step in the docs, there's a step about plugin containment level. Does he have a simple command to do that? Or do I actually need to run this command?
Sorry, I can't even read that command. Sorry.
This one.
Oh, thanks. Set server trust plugin with root. Okay. I saw something with root actually. Web root. No.
Still the blocks we've already made. I don't want sudo.
I don't see anything.
That's fine. We then need to install DNS, and then I think it's Cloudflare.
Which OS space are we using? Or are we Red Hat? We're on Ubuntu, aren't we? 20?
I think 20. Ubuntu tells me I'm loading, doesn't it? Yeah, Ubuntu 22.04. Cloudflare.
Start services. Interesting. Stop services.
So we then need to load in a Cloudflare file.
From?
Ansible?
No, you said we have to load in this Cloudflare file.
Yeah. We need to get so this is going to need access to edit Cloudflare to be able to add a DNS entry. So we need to give it permission to talk to our Cloudflare service.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, and luckily for us, the devcast is actually managed by Cloudflare right now, right?
Oh, I wonder why I picked Cloudflare as the DNS plugin.
Yeah, I just remembered, right?
I think your mind's still on holiday.
Yeah. It's been a while.
So this needs to have these. Ooh. So this is something we're going to have to deal with is this. We should write away that if these values aren't set, this will just skip this step. Because I don't like, if we're just running this locally, we're not going to want to have to set these values every time.
Yeah, that's
There's
fine. Import tasks.
Yeah, and is defined as part of a when.
Okay.
So I was just gonna copy what this person has here, but it says we'll create the task and then we'll say import task and then the when as well, and then when equal is not empty. So
it depends on how you're doing it. If you're going to set it as an empty value, or if you're going to because you don't necessarily have to have the variables in your vars file. You can just have the vars defined as part of your inventory. And if we're running this from somewhere with an inventory that has these, they will be able to pick it up, and then you just essentially set a when to say, yes, this variable is defined, run this task if this variable is not defined. So if you run it on an inventory that doesn't have it defined, it will just ignore the task where it's not defined. It's probably the cleanest way to do that.
Cool. Yeah, I'll load those in a second. It's been far too long since I've actually messed with console, so I'm just gonna steal everything.
I'm looking forward to us actually setting it up, as in like where we actually like doing service discovery and all that. Because so far, all we've managed to do is like spin it up. That's it.
Soon.
I'm still yet to see the actual how it works. And I'm looking forward to that part.
Destination.
Say again?
Just connect to console and you'll be able to join the Saturday streams via that instead of having to care about ports.
Yeah, that would be nice. So where do we want to save this?
ECT let's encrypt.
Let's encrypt, yep. So I need a...
Will that be created for us? The let's encrypt?
That's what James is doing now.
No, but I'm just saying in general, when we're using let's encrypt, will that not create a folder for us in etc already?
We're installing certbot at the moment, so I don't think certbot automatically generates those directories.
Well, we're loading in a config file. I was going to write all this and then run it and see what happens.
Yeah,
I can do this bit at a time if you'd rather, but
no, I think write it all and then run it.
So it's file type. Oh God,
directory.
That part I don't remember.
Name.
Yeah.
No name
or path actually.
I think it's path. Path sounds more right. Oh God. etc/let's.
Oh, it's state, not type.
State, yes.
So destination state.
How do you spell let's encrypt?
Why don't you put it as a variable and then you can spell it wrong? That'd be the same everywhere.
Oh, good idea. We don't have any variables at this level, so let's. Oh no, that's
not going to work. You'll have to do it at the roll level on all. Yeah.
No, I can just do that. So let's go TLS config
colon.
Thank you. etc/let's whipped like that. Probably right. And then you like that.
Yeah.
No, it's like this.
Yeah, the doubles. You've been doing it. Which one's the other? Oh, because it's the Ginger 2 template and it does it that way.
In files, it's
yeah
like that. I think. Is it like that? Oh god, I'm down myself now.
No, that
Nope.
should. No. You've been doing Jenkins work.
No, I've been doing Hashi work. Hashi is
No, the console templating does that.
yeah, like Terraform and stuff is all. So create the config. Source is going to be called just Cloudflare.
Do we append for the rest of our templates? We're not appended .j2 at the end to
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, just trying to keep a little consistency.
That is what we need. Gives I don't know why, but it gives it a little toy gate.
That's Ginger 2's logo.
Ah, I didn't know that. I realized at one point I'd set this up really fancily. So when I logged in to VS Code randomly the other day, it added all these fancy files.
Yeah, no, Ginger 2's logo is a little Tory gate.
Okay. Now we need to get a cert, which I can do cert only. And then D's the name.
Can you ping that in Discord so I can have it in higher resolution?
Oh yeah, that's what it's so I'm using that one for the cert plugin, and that one is the other thing.
Yep.
So I think I just need to run another. Oh, and I've actually did the path. It is going against the task. And then I need to run another command. That command, I think, is going to be single cert for both. You DNS is Cloudflare. Oh, they do an INI file. Should I actually use their file extension?
Yeah.
I need you to go there. Cool. About certainly DNS, creds, cert file. Domain name is going to be devcast ops. I think it's star dot is what I want.
Yeah. Wildcard anything in front of devcast ops that would capture Vault, Nomad.
Well, I mean, what I could maybe do if we cared is work out what services we're putting on the box and then only ask for the certs for those services. But that is a lot of effort. Okay, next step is I need to.
I guess there's a risk that someone could then impersonate. Well, it'll be attached to the DNS record for Cloudflare, so
yeah.
We can impersonate any service at devcastops.com using this server.
Who would have thought?
Certificate, which is almost intentional behavior.
What is the most secure way of me hiding an API key from everyone? Environment variable?
Yeah. Run no log in the Ansible play command and have it pass in an environment variable. So in essentially any command that handles it, you have no log and then set that to true.
So this would have no log.
Yes.
No log. True. And then, do you know how an environment variable would look?
Oh, let's pull it in as an environment variable.
Yeah.
God, it's been a while. I think the way I have it set up normally is I pull a load of stuff from Vault, but we're using this to set up Vault, so that's not really going to work.
while you do that, I'm going to try and work out how I actually get the information it wants.
I think Ansible built-in env allows you to read a value of environment variables.
Oh, I thought there was a way of just like passing through values as environment variables without having to like read them on the local machine.
Well, this. So what are you trying to do? You're trying to set them. Where do you
So
want?
I need to pass in a. I need to pass in an API key into this template through Ansible.
You can read environment variables from your local machine using the, I think Ansible built-in env will give you and then give it.
I had
variable.
thought there was a way of doing it without having to use a block, but I may be wrong.
So check the message I posted in Discord.
It's a lookup.
Yeah, sorry. This is currently a secret. I thought there was a way, like in Terraform, where you can it will automatically
how it does
turn environment variables into variables.
So I think in there, instead of having DNS count for configuration, you'd want a lookup and then Ansible built-in env and then comma and then that name, and it will pull your environment variable for you.
I mean, I will do that here because I want to be able to, at some point, I want to be able to like not have to worry about environment variables. If this was on the pipeline, you'd want it to just load that in that environment at runtime.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of this all pull.
Okay, I need to, first things first, I need to work out how I actually create this API token. Plugin. Oh. They've even given me a button that takes me directly to the right location. API tokens. I need to create a token. This token just needs, I suppose I can show this bit. So this is creating a token. I can probably zoom in a little bit. So I just need access to zone DNS edit on the one zone, the one DNS entry we need access to. They're called zones. So in this, I think this is, edit zone DNS. Yeah, use template. Edit zone DNS include specific zone, devcast ops. Ooh, I can make it so only our server can access from this.
It's probably worth a try. Will it be run from our server?
This will be run from our server through our NAT gateway. So we'll have to give it the IP address of our NAT gateway, not of the actual server itself. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Now I'm going to assume this is going to be something secret, so I'm going to move that off the screen. Create token. Okay. That has now created a token. Annoyingly, wait, have I created a global token, not a... No, I want to, oh, no, that's fine. I think I've created a global token though, not a... not a user token, because it's saying I can verify just for that. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's set both of these and see what happens. So I've got that and that. And then they need these. I don't know the fact that's complaining. think that's a Ansible. Oh no, wait, we've got.
There we go.
Because there was single quotes within single. Oh god, single quotes within single quotes.
Are you using a Mac keyboard with a PC?
No, my brain. Well, I'm using a Japanese keyboard, correct? Technically, so it's. I mean, that is the correct key. The buttons don't match what my computer's doing, so I don't look at the buttons. It's all muscle memory. But I'm now being driven between a Mac and a PC, so it's all a bit. Okay. Anyway, that there. That should now work if when I export the values. So I'm now going to export email equals oh god, what email did I even use?
Yes. Blend back.
Export that one equals key clear. Okay, this should now be set up, so maybe it'll work. So now I can go main. Name is going to be TLS. Do I have how's my inventory set up?
Just comment out 7 for now on the Nomad client.
Yes, because there was no. I'm just going to have to run this on all, really.
You might run into problems, but we'll see.
Oh, because that's on all. Okay, let's pick Vault.
Yeah, let's call it the Vault server for now.
Host can be Vault server.
And then we'll get all working at some point.
No, I don't think this should be all. Let's do
yeah.
Because now we can specify what we want on Let's Encrypt and what we want on Let's Encrypt and what we don't want on Let's Encrypt.
Do we need?
I don't need the two.
The children.
We just need to do that. Oh, come on, tab. Yeah.
It's real feisty today.
Oh, God, I hate this keyboard. It either like doesn't press the key or double presses the key or like. Anyway, this should run. So, are we happy that this isn't going to output a secret key anywhere?
So the secret key is only written to that template file. Yep. And that would be the only logging step in Ansible that will contain it. And the no log will mean it's not spat out, even if errors.
I'm happy to run this off camera if we're.
What you could do is you could just run with some dummy environment variables for now and see if anything spat out. Would probably be a cleaner way to do it.
That's fine.
Yeah, because we may actually need to do it. I think that's how the variables are passed, but it may not be. Is your certbot DNS dash thing with your items? Do we have a certbot DNS dash?
Certbot DNS.
At the first play, you've got an extra dash after certbot.
Line 8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That needs to be Cloudflare. Good spot. Let's run this. See what happens. Sybil. Playbook.
Dash I.
Dash I. Inventory all main. I realize this is running the entire thing and it's either going to work or not, but without logging into the server, I don't think I'll actually get useful information.
Well, if it fails, you'll see where it fails.
Yeah. Oh, it installed Certbot correctly.
Alrighty. Oh. Oh, cloud fled.
Yeah, no package.
Did I name Certbot DNS Cloudflare? That's what it's called. Unless I need to do this bit first.
Do you install that via the package manager?
So this is the command they give, and then the example is the Cloudflare one.
I wonder if it's trying to Yum install it rather than Snap. I think there might be a way in packages to tell it which package manager to use.
I mean, worst comes to worst, there is a Snap module. I think it wants me to use the classic containment level, so I think I may just have to use Snap instead of packages because this wants to use classic.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there is an action an attribute to specify which type. Oh no, there is a use. You could try using Snap on the package.
I'm just worried that it's like apt installed it.
You won't remove, right?
Yep. Hope I can spell. Yeah, so that installed it via Yum.
Yeah, so if you do use Snap, it might pick it up. I don't know if packages works neatly with Snap.
I'm just worried that it wants you to use classic.
Should we try with?
So I think I want to change it to Snap.
There's a whole Snap answer module.
Yeah, it's built-in.
Built-in Snap.
Oh, sorry, it's a community one, which is fine. And then I need you to go classic. And then I think because this is in classic, I don't actually need this one because this is telling it to use the same. That's fine. Well, see what happens. Oh, I need to exit again. What I don't want is two different versions of Certbot installed. one with apt, one with Snap.
Yeah, the messy stuff about answers. If you change something, it just leaves the rubbish behind.
Yeah. Ooh.
So it's found Certbot, but it hasn't found classic.
dangerous. I think I need to run this line first. I know when there's just one.
Online is suggesting you can use pip install to install setbot DNS Cloudflare. So we have installed, right?
Or I can do what it wants me to do, and it will do it correctly. Unsurprisingly, the order in which it was asking me to commands mattered.
That would be quite funny.
Confirm. Oh, I didn't rename the thing. Get cert. So this is going to fail.
Yeah. Do you want to check the
that's gonna time
config
out,
file
probably.
to see if it's pulled the environment variables correctly? We can see what you put in the.
etc. Let's. Yep. Test and email.
Perfect.
I didn't help anything, so I'm going to go back here, do the correct information. Well, I'm going to exit out of.
I think because of the level of verbosity we run at, it doesn't spit anything out in any case, but that no log is the way to enforce it.
Yeah.
Not to do it even at a higher level of verbosity, which if something breaks means you do get no logs, but it also prevents you from sharing information that you shouldn't. So
yeah. It means your logs are empty when they should be.
It would be neat if there was a way. I wonder if you could modify that in Ansible to have it so you go, this value is sensitive, so it hashed it in logs for you.
Yeah, maybe. Or you could maybe build your own version of the templating plugin that will do it. So this should now be getting us a. I don't know if there's a good way that I can prove or see if that's happening.
Well, it'll write the cert pointer afterwards, so we can then just open SSL on the actual certificate. We don't.
Yep.
As we can share that.
Is it meant to take this long?
I don't know. I'm clicking to once. Flash domain.
Don't know why I just got a massive headache of it. It's just so bad. Is it expecting any input from me?
Nope. Just trying to. I can't remember how to. I'm forgetting how to Cloudflare now. There we go.
And at this point, it would have been nice to have that -VPV.
I guess we don't. The trouble is we don't know what's sent in those commands. So running it with a bot who's just straight off the bat may not be the cleanest.
But we could log into the box and run the command locally.
Yeah.
Like if this just isn't giving us output, but the command is outputting, I could just log into the box and run it.
I wonder if it's prompting you for stuff like alternate domain names.
Oh, yeah, it will be. Yeah, you're right.
We need it's spec.
No. Certbot has a way of doing all this.
Oh, does it have it in command the flags that we can pass?
certbot will have with.
There's usually a config file that you can update, and then setbot will go into that config file. Get everything it needs from there. So
default. Yeah. Oh, you're just doing Docker. Could have done it in Nomad.
I think this is probably wise to have this outside of Nomad.
Yeah, this is why being outside of everything.
Yeah.
So getting a cert. Different ways of doing it. So using a DNS plugin. Standalone.
Oh my goodness, I'm installing certbot just to get the manual up for it, and the number of dependencies it has is quite a few.
Yeah, I think that's quite a lot.
Most of them make sense. It's stuff like OpenSSL, and then certify. There's some cryptography modules in there as well.
I think I have kind of fixed this before already. Because yeah, that's definitely weighing stuff.
I found something I can share in terms of more stuff to add to the command that we have. So maybe we could variabilize that command so we can then put it into variable.
Here we go. Non-interactive, standalone.
Yeah,
Agree TOS preferred chain.
exactly.
So I can do that. And then I can register. Oh yeah, I did this. I remember. So you can. So I've done this before. Which. So what it's doing is it's saying it's telling certbot who I am, and then creating a file that I then make sure I don't rerun this step again. Though this this directory is similar but slightly different to the one I'm using now.
Good old variables.
And I think this needs to be. Give me a sec to work out if there's an email address that all three of us share that makes sense.
Don't we have an admin one?
That's what I want to check.
There's some stuff that the Twitch is attached to that goes through to all three of us.
That's a Twitch one, I think. Here's admin. Oh yeah, it's just admin one. Okay. I should probably not just using an admin, but more things to variabilize in the future.
I guess
As much as maybe I shouldn't be sharing and pushing this email online. If someone doesn't expect admin at whatever to work for any company, then
yeah.
Okay, certbot registered, TOS, touch registered, creates registered. We can improve this in the future. Oh wow, we have gone over by a bit. which case, let's make sure this works and then call it a stream.
I guess we spent a good 20
about
minutes
10 minutes,
chatting at the
yeah.
start, so that eats into our usual time frame.
They've reached done. Ooh.
Big old error.
Too many flag setting configuration installers authenticators standalone.
Can you do it as I just sent it to you as a variable? So and then
Certainly create method if no, that's horrendous. We do not, that is a catch-all generic command.
we are just trying to get it to work right now, right?
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, it's because I put standalone as well. Yeah, yours would make a standalone cert, which doesn't work for us. It's because I put both standalone and DNS, which unsurprisingly, giving it two different ways of authenticating. Okay.
Let's insert for.
This is not correct. Did you put your entire? Please confirm that you have supplied a valid API creds. Cool.
Fair enough. It doesn't like the credentials.
Also, it's saying something about the Cloudflare package as well that we're running.
Which trying to authenticate with the Cloudflare API and failing those credentials.
Oh no! To use the CloudFormation tokens, you need Python package Cloudflare.
Yeah, and the package we're running is below the package you want us to run.
The certbot is running. No, the certbot is running Cloudflare 2.17. It needs greater than 2.3. So yeah, that's fine. We don't need. Yeah, it just doesn't like the creds. Which I'm going to just log in and give it a little test, a little check while no one can see what certs actually loaded.
I wonder. I had a fun thought. I don't know if someone's already done it before, but if not, we could maybe have a mess around at some point trying to build a Let's Encrypt secrets engine.
Oh yeah.
If we wanted to use Let's Encrypt for other stuff, because then we could still use Vault to do it, to handle our internal certs, but we could fire them API calls off.
Think if I need this token, I think I have given it the wrong type of key.
There was a feature request for this previously, but needs to just be added directly to the binary, but I don't think it says closed.
What needs to be added to the binary?
Let's
encrypt.
To add a Let's Encrypt plugin. There's no.
Oops.
There's no plans to support Let's Encrypt ACME integration in the future, as discussed. And there's a community third-party plugins that require requested functionality. Vault ACME.
God, I hate this error so much. Okay. DNS email and key are not needed when using API token. Ask help search.
So if you not need email.
Permissions okay. Unsafe permissions.
Oh, I think it wants you to lock down that file. Right.
And then it doesn't want the email. I don't really understand why it's so it wants that, and then it wants me to lock down the file, yeah.
Make it 600.
So
Mode.
this one mode is 600. Oh, I should have cleared my screen first. I keep going. Is it taking longer? This is definitely taking longer.
Has it failed yet?
It did a thing.
Do you want to have a look and open SSL that certificate? So I assume there's one up and running.
Here's a question. Any idea where it puts the stats?
Probably in the directory that it's run from, which will be just the root directory. If you don't specify.
So it goes into it without brackets. Maybe I should move my config files here.
Can you make that a little bit bigger so we can?
Yes. So it uses let's encrypt with no underscores or anything. So this is where it stores things. And then I go live. Oops. Sudo cd/etc/lets e. So now I have a devcastops.com cert. Oh, sorry, I have a devcastops directory. And within that, I have a cert chain, full chain, private key. So now if I go open SSL dash it
X509
509 dash in cert.pem
dash no out dash text
dash no out dash text.
Probably text, not test.
Test.
So we have our nice certs. It is CN to everything. Sans to everything. Perfect. Now we can, if we wanted to, spend another 50 minutes today. We could get it all set up for everything, because as much as it should be really simple, because you have to pass them here, nothing has access to this file.
Yeah, I think that's a next week thing. We can start messing around with file permissions and groups.
Well, yeah, groups is probably what we need to put this and everything into.
Because I guess what nice thing we do is because we want the full chain to be given to whatever's using it for the front, and then that those can essentially be distributed. They might, I don't know if we want to do it this way or how we want to build it, but the full chain is publicly accessible. That should be fine to read. It's the key that we need to care about.
This one. This is the only one that we need to worry about.
Which currently has awful permissions on it.
But only root can access it.
Yes. Well, no, everything can access it because it goes all the way to the end.
Oh. So it's... but
I think this folder might
So this folder...
is traversable.
I think it was live.
Yeah, but one of them
live,
isn't. Yeah.
Live I couldn't get into. So... But all our services really need access to live. So we probably just need to put this onto a different
There should
group.
be a TLS user or a TLS user and group that does Let's Encrypt user and group that has ownership over all of this rather than it being root. And then we can add stuff like Vault and Console and Nomad to the Let's Encrypt group.
I just want to move.
Oh, something has happened on Twitch just now.
Yep, and we're back.
Yeah. Barnaby's not back yet. Hold on. Let me see why. Yeah.
There we
go. Welcome back.
Thank you. Maybe at
So
some point
what
I might sorry, go on.
What I'm doing is I'm just changing this to no underscore, and because of the way this register works, is I'm just telling it that file should already exist. So I've moved these files manually, and now I've told Ansible to look at the correct location.
Cool.
But it works.
Well, I guess this is probably a good point to wrap up. We talked through the kind of how TLS works, the different approaches, the way we're going to go down it. We've got the kind of first half of it done, where we have a playbook that gets us a certificate from Let's Encrypt, which we can use on our services. And next week, we'll come back to this and start getting it so those services actually use that certificate. So thank you for watching, everyone. Follow on Twitch, like and subscribe on the YouTubes. And we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.